rest, y'all know the rest, you up? Yeah. 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 My niggas lit, we gon' talk about it. Chop me a potty, put chalk around it. Back to that money, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, let's talk about it. Pull up in farmers, I'm double parking. Step in the spot, you know who ballin'. Too many lefts, you know about the gang. I stay with the triple, no run up on me. You know how I'm moving, you know how.
Welcome to Life After the Bars. I'm your host, Power. And today we at Cloud9 Studios to holler with the homie Angel. He's a producer, manager, you know what I'm saying, advocate for young dudes in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Me and him, we done traveled all over the state together, you know what I'm saying? He did a lot of time, you know what I'm saying, a good dude. And he got his best friend with him, Kai, know him since young, good dude, Angel, Kai, what he do? So today we gonna talk about his life after the bars. We gonna get right into it, homie. Basically, how did you come up?
You know what I mean? I grew up in the foster care system. You know what I'm saying? 13 of us, big family. You know what I'm saying? Fortunate enough to land in a home that wanted me. You know what I mean? But I like the streets. So, you know what I mean? I had it good for a while, but I leaned towards the streets. There was something about it. I like the streets.
Yeah, what about the streets? What was that about?
It was the grind, the hustle, the girls, the flashy stuff, the fast money. It was all of the above.
So you was like the dark angel out there on the streets.
Yeah, I was living my best life.
Your best life. So how did you come to be incarcerated? Like, what was that about?
Well, court, I was doing good. I was actually exiting the game when I got caught for something that happened 4 years prior. And I ended up getting locked up for a misdemeanor, gave my DNA popped up for burglary, and ended up getting me 5 years. 5 years up north, 5 years on post release.
So that's when you landed on the boat, on the island.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Belly of the beast. At times it could turn a tough nigga to pudding and make a soft nigga hard. But yeah, it was real. It ain't like it is now. It's like camp. When we was there, it was a different story. If you couldn't hold your own, it didn't matter who you was, what gang you ran with. If you was soft, you was soft. Period.
But let's go back a little bit. You say you was in foster care. What happened to your mother and your father, your biological?
80s baby. You know what I'm saying?
Crack era.
Yeah, crack ever hard. My mom's was on it hard. My pops was on it hard. Took them both out. But I love my mother enough, you know, to realize she gave us up to give us a fighting chance. God knows what would have happened if she would have kept us with her. We might have all been on crack. But she loved us enough to let us all go. And because of it, we all doing good. We all know each other. We all spend time together. We all love each other.
Deep. So, your stepmother, your foster mother, your foster father, or you just had a foster mother?
I had a foster father and a foster mother.
Oh, so how was that experience like? You know what I'm saying? Coming from what you was coming from. Mom's on crack, father on crack.
It was different coming from struggling to eat to abundance of food, like too much food, like vacations every year.
Yeah,
we had two apple trees in the backyard. Feel what I'm saying? Rockwallers, fancy cars. The love was crazy. I don't even look at them as my foster mother and my foster father. That's my mother and that's my father.
Alright, so you said foster care, then you start running the streets. What was it about the streets? Like you just say you had a good foster mother, foster father. So what was about the streets? That drew you.
I was getting older. I started recognizing I had looks.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to chill with the girls. I wanted to go to parties. I wanted fast cars. I wanted money. I wanted jewelry. Mm-hmm. And my family wasn't for that. So it was like I didn't have to play the street, but I started playing the street because I wanted to try to get it on my own. And if I could do it over again, I bet you I wouldn't. I'd have stayed home.
That's real. That's real talk. That's real talk. So listen, right? So now you got caught up. You had a flat 5, right?
Yeah.
And then you had 5 post supervision. But what was the time like? What was going through your mind? You in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you had a good foster mother, good foster father. So now you in jail. What was that about? How was that? How was that? What was going on?
That was different. When I got in there and I actually realized I had to do the time, my whole mindset switched. It became, I gotta survive. But at the same time, I'm going up here to do my time and I'm coming home. I'm not trying to get stuck up there. I'm not trying to, it wasn't for me. I always said after I got up there, they'd never get me back up there. Them crackers treat you different.
Yeah, fact. But look, you was gang related though, right?
Yeah. That's a fact.
So you went through some issues. I mean, talk to us about that.
It came with the gang. Like, most of the time, you never really had no beef. Your beef is off of somebody else's beef. You don't even know him, but you banging for him because that's your homie. And you feel what I'm saying? Your beef becomes his beef becomes yours. You might not have none and he might have a lot. And you gotta ride from him. That's how it is. And I mean, it's not for everybody. And nowadays, it ain't nothing really, it ain't worth it, homie. You feel what I'm saying? Like, 9 times out of 10, up top, the Bloods is the strongest in any state. So 9 times out of 10, when we the strongest, we start fighting each other, and then picking each other apart. And it's 9 times out of 10, it's one of your own.
So you had beef with some of your own.
I had some beef with some of my own. God be willing, I came out good, they came out good, but nowadays, man, if it ain't about money, it really ain't about nothing, man.
Alright, so you was engaged at the time? You was doing your bit?
Nah. I had a little white joint that was holding me down, that I was dealing with before I got locked up. She held me down for the majority of my bid. Had a kid I didn't even know, but she still held me down. And I appreciate her.
So so we're gonna fast forward a little bit. So you did your whole 5, right?
Yeah, I did my whole 5. Actually,
you supposed to do 10 years. 10 months. And what was it? 5 years and 10 months you were supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
But you ended up doing
the whole thing. I got caught in a riot. In
What
the
jail was
yard.
that?
I was in Kasaki. We was in the yard and some shit popped off, and I felt like some of the homies was just standing there watching. They had hella time, I had short time, but the type of nigga I am, I jumped out the window, got caught, ended up getting maxed out. Then when I had 55 days left to come home, my mother gets into a car accident and passes away.
Your real mother or your foster mother?
My foster mother, but I consider her my mother.
So how was your mindset? You know what I'm saying? The lady that took care of you, that saved you, that almost saved your life, right?
She saved my life. It was 2 weeks before she passed away. I called her. We spoke on the phone, and she kept at the end of the phone call, she kept saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I'm like, she always says she loved me, but the way she said it was like she was saying goodbye. And I didn't realize it at the moment. And then 2 weeks later, I'm sitting in my cell. They cracked my cell. My bunkie, I was in 5 Point Correctional. My bunkie was Muslim. They called me out the cell and said the imam want to speak to me. So I was like, I'm not Muslim. You must be wanting to talk to him. But then they said, no, he want to talk to you. I go down there. He sit there. I sit down and he's like, yo, you want a free phone call? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I start dialing on the phone. I'm calling my mother. And I guess he knew who I was calling because he said, hey, there's been an accident. Your mother didn't make it. And I'm on the phone listening to her answer machine, and it was just like, what? And it was like we had this whole plan, and then it was just like my mom's was going, what am I going to do? And it was crazy. It was hard.
What was her name?
Marina Turnbull.
We're gonna take 5 seconds for a moment of silence. That's deep, bro. That's deep. I feel that. You know what I'm saying? I feel that. So, alright, so she passed away. You coming home. What are you thinking?
What's am I gonna do?
Your mind?
What am I gonna do? I come home, I'm like, my mom's is gone, the plan I had. It took me a whole year to gather my thoughts. And in that year's time, I ended up having my first son. And that's when everything in my life just changed. It was like, a lot of people say I saved my son, but I feel like he saved me because then it was game time. I don't got no time to play. I don't got no time to sit around and be sad. I gotta hit the street and I gotta get the job. And I never look back.
So you got a job doing what? What was you doing?
Well, my first job, my father do construction, so he taught me everything I know. So while I was up north, I ended up getting my brick mason's license, certified by the state. I got a job with Spring, I think it was Cardone Concrete in Queens. And I rocked that job for about 2-3 years until I ended up getting a job with a scaffolding company. Rocked that job for a couple years. Ended up losing that job because I was on parole at the same time. So parole was kind of putting stipulations. They don't want me to leave my house till 8 o'clock when I got to be at the job site by 8 o'clock. So I ended up losing that job.
So what was going through your mind when you lost your job? Like you did all this time, you come home, got a job.
I started losing my mind for a minute because I'm like, I got my son. How the hell am I gonna feed my son? Now, so I just started taking any job I can. So I ended up getting a job working for a pest control company, catching raccoons and squirrels. Word.
Yo,
I had to put food on the table.
Yeah, you gotta take care of the city, right?
Yeah, man. And I rocked that job until I ended up getting hired for a chiropractic care office. And the lady begged me for months and months and months to take the job. And I used to always be like, nah, I'm good. Until one day, I get pulled over on the Southern State Parkway for a headlight being out. My car ended up getting impounded. They left me on the side of the highway. I never got that car back. I had to walk 2 hours just to get halfway to my baby mother's house.
But you made it.
But I made it.
Okay.
And I sat home for a month. I was living in Brooklyn at the time. I was one block off of everything, every food store you could imagine. I didn't leave Brooklyn for a month until I say, yo, what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
At this point now, I got a son and a daughter.
So what you came up with?
I said, man, I gotta do something. She offered me the job. I told her something crazy because I was upset one day and I figured she would just stop asking me. Mm-hmm. And at the end of my therapy session, she handed me a check.
How much?
I ain't gonna say how much, but she gave me what I asked for times 3.
Yeah.
And was like, when can you start? And I was like, I don't have a car. So I took, this was like my cousin, man. This is family. So I turned to my cousin, Kai, and I'm like, yo, Kai, bro, I know he's selling his Honda. I'm like, yo, Kai, bro, I don't have no bread, but if you, my first check, I can give you this. I just need the car to start this job. And he said, come get the car, man. He cleaned the car out. He gave me the car. And I've been grinding ever since.
Oh, so you kind of owe it to Kai.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even own a transportation company. I own 19 cars for a transportation company for a chiropractic care office.
So you gave him his car.
Yeah.
Why you did that?
The young brother was hungry, man. He was trying to get his life together. I'm not going to deny him. I get my blessings for that when I do that. I seen he was serious about what he's doing.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't deny him. I mean, I know him from young. He changed his life around. He's trying to do things with his life. I'm the make it or break it moment. It's like, yo, if I don't give it to him, what's he going to do?
So you ain't want to see him starve or hungry?
No question. No question. Not only that, but his older brother looked at me like, what's wrong with you?
Oh, okay.
I know his older brother. Listen.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, are you? Nah.
Yeah, so that's a fan.
That's fair.
Nobody left behind.
I'm not leaving him. I'm not leaving him. He's going. He's got to go.
So what you felt about him, like, you know what I'm saying, career criminal, you know what I'm saying, and you know, that's not your thing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I run with nothing but career criminals.
Oh, okay.
I'm just the cleanest one out of the crew.
Okay.
So when it come down to it, I'm like, yo, if he's gonna make a move to be positive about stuff in his life, by all means. You know?
So you approve that message. You approve dudes changing their life. You believe
100%.
You believe that dude could change his life.
100%. 100%. I mean, a guy who did murder can change his life around and get right. You know what I'm saying? And
so even if that wasn't your man, you still would, like, that's your thing. Like, you would have, you know what I'm saying?
I would extend myself as much as I can.
Yeah, okay.
I would give him for a law. They had to give me something. You know what I'm saying? He had nothing in his hands. I was like, yo, because it's my man, I'm like, okay, you can have the car. Give me the money, no problem. Take the car.
So you was rooting for him?
100%. I want to see him succeed.
That's rare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's when dudes like you out here. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas be like, man, nigga's a loser. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm keeping it 100%.
You're 100% right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're 100%
so,
right.
Alright, so, boom, you gave him the car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You knew he was going to do something.
Of course. Of course. I mean, I thank God that he would, you know what I'm saying, make something good of it. Okay. You know?
But it was your car?
It was my car. The car was getting a little bit problems with it, and I wanted to get a new car. I mean, I got the car fixed; it was in good conditions, but I didn't want to put no more money into it. So I said, "Well, I'm not gonna let the car go to waste. I'm gonna sell it." You know. But he came to me with his. I was like, "Yo, look, I just changed this. This is the issue here. This is what it has on it. Yo, if you could do something with it, go ahead."
Okay. So you got the car now. You got the job and whatnot. So that's what you was gonna do with your life after being locked up?
Actually, I thought I would just drive for a little bit. And then my boss, Dr. Wendy Kaiser, white lady, coolest white lady you'll ever meet in your life, yo. She taught me so much that it ain't really the money, it's the lifestyle it affords us. We can always make money, but not being able to change who we are and just, you feel what I'm saying, be who we are and the freedom to be who we are, like, she allowed me to grow. She taught me so much.
So she was another person that was an influence in your life that helped you get to the point where you at now.
Yeah, that's a fact. She been behind me 100%. Like,
and you said she was a white lady.
White lady. White lady. And she, not a lick of racism in her. Like, she taught me, she's actually my son's godmother.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? She put me on a different playing field. Yo, don't just drive for me. Start a transportation company. And I started from there. And he'll tell you, I started from his car to another car, to another car, to another car.
So you're a car guy?
Yeah. Benzes, BMWs, trucks. Like, I own 19 cars. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
and everybody's driving.
Yeah.
So from that point, you didn't have no more issues. Everything was good for you.
No, I mean, I still struggle. You feel what I'm saying? It was times where work wasn't that good and stuff was slow. It was all a process, and in that process, I started looking for, while this is slow, let me figure a way so I can make money come in. So I seen my homegirl, Danielle, and she was starting this clothing line. And I've been watching it for months and months and months. And I'm like, yo, I got extra money. And I'm like, yo, what am I going to do with this money? So I hit her up. And I'm like, yo, what's up? I see you doing your thing. Like, I want to be a part of it. And she was gracious enough to say, hey, come on over here. We grew up together. And now we business partners. Started a clothing line, trusting your process. TYP. And you could go to Instagram, trust in your process, TYP, Facebook, go buy something. We got sweatsuits, jeans suits, hats, you name it, ski mask, all. But we built from there. And then my boss offered me another opportunity. So now she taught me how to do this fat elimination company. So now I own a fat elimination company. And then my boy asked me to help him out with his rap career. So then I started getting into that. So now I'm managing a rapper too. And I just keep getting better and better. Like,
okay. Before we get too far into that, right?
Yeah.
Trust in the process. What does that mean?
In life,
The process.
In life, I look at everything as a process. You have an idea, it's a process to get to where you want to be at. You just got to trust your process. And that goes for everything in life. You want something bad enough, you got to work hard for it. You got to trust your process. You can't just say, yo, I'm going to do this today and it don't work and then you on to something else. Nah, if you believe in something hard enough, you got to trust your process. Put your all into it. No matter what. Don't let nobody stop you. Can't nothing stop you. If you would have asked me 5 years ago what I would be doing today, I couldn't tell you I'd be this good. I'm the straightest I've ever been in my life and I'm making legal money. Bumping elbows with good people. I'm fortunate to be with this label that last year we did a party, Fabio Foreign. Tory Lanez popped up. It was crazy. Mariah Lynn. Like, big stuff is happening.
So how many artists you got? You got artists in there, right? You managing artists.
Yeah.
How did you come about doing that? You know what I'm saying?
My boy asked me, and he kept asking me, and I'm like, man, you know what? Let me hear what this dude music sound like. And one day I actually sat down and listened to all his music, and I was like, oh, he nice. I was like, this dude spit. I'm an 80s baby, and this dude got bars. Like real bars.
You come from the era when rap was rap.
Yeah, when rap was rap. And I'm like, this dude is spitting real bars. Just shout out to Just G the rapper. And I'm like, yo, my boy is he sound crazy. So I jumped in with him, and you feel what I'm saying? We never looked back since. Like, we got stuff going on. We got 105.1 and Hot 97 on the 21st. Got a couple things coming up, man. Just keep your ears out. Just G the Rapper, man. YouTube, Instagram. What's that? Apple Music, all that good stuff.
Okay. So you got good things going.
Yeah, good
So
things.
look, because what I try to do here is we try to give a message, you know what I'm saying, to the young homies, you know, even some of the old homies that's struggling.
Yeah.
The young girls, the older girls. If you could sum up the things that you've been through in your life, being in foster care, being in jail, transportation, if you could sum up your life after the bars, what would it be? What would you say? Like, if you could just say something to the homies and whatnot that's going through what you went through, you know what I'm saying? They either in foster care, you know what I'm saying, jail, you know, stuff like that.
For the young ones, slow down. Stop speeding. Stop trying to rush to get to something. Slow down, man. Live your life.
Trust the process.
Yeah, trust your process. Slow down. Stop trying to be grown. For the older heads that have been locked up and all that and think, yo, what can I do? I'm coming home and I'm old. Nah, man. You can still do something, man. Everybody got a talent, man. Just trust your process. Believe in yourself, man. Don't let nobody tell you can't do nothing, man. If you got an idea, try something and run with it, man. It's a new era. This is 2020, man. This is our year, man. This is our year. For the women, man. Y'all,
talk about it.
Yeah, y'all stop chasing behind niggas, man. Do y'all, man.
Be ladies.
Do y'all, yeah, be ladies,
Be a woman,
man.
be a woman,
Be a
real
woman,
lady.
man. Stop, don't let nobody define who you are, man. It's nothing enlightening about dumbing yourself down so somebody else can feel special, man. Word.
That's deep. Well, hold on, before we get out of here, Kyle, I need to ask you something, right? This was your man, you know what I'm saying? He did time and all that. What would you say to people that got friends that's in jail, come home from jail, and they need help? Because a lot of people be like, you know what I'm saying?
Don't stop. Go get what you gotta get. Be positive.
Support your peoples.
No matter, support
If that's your friend, your brother, your lover, whatever. You know what I'm
No
saying?
matter how small or minute the job is, take the job with pride and move to the next. Don't turn down offers so quickly, because that could be the job to the next job. You know what I'm saying? You have to make the connection. You can't sit there in the same situation you've been in and expect something different to happen. Approach it differently. Come again. Like you said, trust the process.
Trust the process. That's the word for today. Well, it's 2 words. Trust, well, 3.
Yeah.
Trust the process. You know what I'm saying? And what I came away with today is, you know what I'm saying, a brother that, you know what I'm saying, came from addicted parents, you know what I'm saying, to loving parents, people that took him in, and it was a process. The process that's got him through. We right here in these studios. It's nice here. You know what I'm saying? He trusts the process. And then his man trusts the process because he trusted him. Gave him his car. That was his car. You know what I'm saying? He gave it to him. So those are the words of today. Trust the process. And that's what I want to do. I want to trust the process. And I want you to trust the process. You could go from being in foster care to being incarcerated to being a manager. He managed other people's life as his life was managed. So I thank y'all for joining me today. Life after the bars. And this is what we talk about. You know what I'm saying? I thank y'all for joining me.
Appreciate you.
Angel. I call him the Dark Angel. You know what I'm saying? Prince of Darkness. And my boy Kai. This dude, me and him go way back. Good guy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should have a friend like that. You know what I'm saying? So I thank y'all for joining us today. I want y'all to look out for this interview. and interviews like that, because this is what we want to bring to you. We want to bring stories of inspiration, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, progress, process, you know what I'm saying? I thank y'all. Peace.
Too many lefts, y'all know the rest, you heard? Yeah. 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 My niggas lit, we gon' talk about it. Chop me a potty, put chalk around it. Back to that money, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, let's talk about it. Pull up in farmers, I'm double parking. Step in the spot, you know who ballin'. Too many lefts, you know about the gang. I stay with the triple, no run up on me. You know how I'm moving, you know how